So when I first gave this talk, it was called 12 Ways to Blow Up Your Company. And then for those of you who don't know me, you're probably getting to know that I like to have fun and life's too short to be boring. So I later called it 14 or 15 ways to fuck up your company, because after you guys innovated a few more ways to fuck things up, I got frustrated. Then it became 18 ways to fuck up your company, and then the dean at the CU Law School informed me that I wasn't allowed to use the word fuck at the law school as much as I do. Not ever, but just not as much. So now it's back to 20 ways you can blow up your startup, but as of today, it's 21. There are some things I'm going to tell you that are not fixable. So there are several of these mistakes that if you make them, it might be game over for your company. There are a lot of these that some are fixable, but all of these are really painful. And all of these things will blow up your company if you have committed them. As with every year, some of you have committed some of these already. As with every year, some of you have committed the ones that can't be fixed. With that being said, with no further ado, drum roll please. First thing you can do to screw up your company is pick a bad idea. Now, all of you are like, well, duh, that one's pretty easy. Well, stick with me for a second. Picking a bad idea isn't picking a bad idea. what's the name of your company again? The health?
Orderly Health.
Orderly Health. So, sounds like a good idea. I mean, it was good enough to get into Techstars, right? But if you're not super passionate about it, like you have to solve this thing, or you're in it for the money, or because you couldn't get a job and you happen to get into Techstars, it's already game over. And I'm surprised at how many entrepreneurs create companies and come up with ideas for the wrong reasons. If you're there, it's already game over. I can't help you. Hopefully it's not. If nothing else, use this as a filter if you decide to bring on another co-founder or other partners, that they're here because they cannot sleep until they fix this problem. They're not here for the paycheck. If you don't know your business model, you're sunk, which probably should just send a shiver down all of your spines going, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. It's all right, but always have an opinion. It's okay to have an opinion in your business model and know it's wrong. But there's so many startups that don't even have an opinion. The answer is advertising. Wrong. Like, wrong. If your business model is advertising, please leave the room now. Because it doesn't matter until you've reached such scale and none of you are there. So you're dead. Have an opinion. It will change. They always do, but always have a way to make money. The idea of we're just going to acquire a lot of users and we're going to figure it out later, it's a pretty dangerous strategy. See Twitter. Yeah. Right? That's really, really tough. This next one's a disease, and this one's not having defined goals and not knowing how to define success and not holding yourselves accountable. This is a disease that if your company gets, it's really hard to get out of. There's also no pill for this yet. At this point in your company's life cycle, I would have goals every week of what you're trying to do. Every week. I'd write them somewhere. This is what we're going to get done this week. And then every Friday afternoon or Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon, whenever your week ends, you sit and you look at the goals and you say, which ones do we get done? If you got them all done, awesome. Next week, let's push a little harder. You got some of them done. Why didn't you get some done? Was that out of your control? Did you get lazy? And I don't mean lazy, you didn't work hard enough, but did you get lazy and just not keep yourself focused? Did something happen that changed the goal and it should have changed and you did the right thing? You got to look back. Some of these teams that I see that start off, you just run, and you don't ever stop and look around and say, hey, how are we doing? I mean, there's a natural endpoint here at Demo Day to do that, but I think you need to do it literally on a weekly or bi-weekly basis and hold yourselves accountable. If people in your team aren't getting the job done, you got to hold them accountable. If you're not getting the job done, you got to hold yourself accountable. Maybe it means you need to change your goal, change your idea, but find out why you're not being successful. And that doesn't mean every week make excuses. This means every week set reasonable goals and hit them. You also must continue to test your hypotheses. Everyone in this room has some hypotheses about why they've created something cool and innovative. You figured out, hey, wait a minute, there's a bust in the market. I'm going to fix it. All of you guys are trying to fix something that's broken. Those are all based on a certain set of hypotheses. Those core hypotheses, you need to stress test all the time. Make sure that something hasn't changed in the market or in competitor or something that has changed everything. Most of you won't have this problem because of what you're doing, but there's companies, for instance, the drone company, goodness gracious, some ornery regulator wakes up one day, your whole company's dead. Of course, so is mine 3DR, but hey, we can drink beer and cry together. Think about how things are going. Be on top. I assume you're part of the Drone Foundation or at least know about them. If you don't, let me introduce you and make sure that you guys get in there so you can see what the latest, greatest things that the country is saying about drones. But make sure you're always testing your hypotheses. Similarly, screwing up your IP, your intellectual property, this is a huge one. Don't go blabbing people the secrets of your intellectual property. Be careful who you talk to. I hate to say it, but we've had a team here who went to a bar here in Boulder and started talking about their idea, and the person at the bar went home and filed a patent the next day on it. Oh shit. Be really, really freaking careful. Now, this doesn't mean walk around with a little bitty NDA saying, yeah, would you have a beer with me? Here's an NDA. Not cool. Not cool. That screams loser. But be careful. Not everybody has their heart in the right place. Be very careful of reputation constraints of who you're dealing with. In other words, if you're talking to somebody new, figure out why their reputation to them matters enough that they will not screw you over. i.e., this is a Techstars mentor. If they screw me, Techstars will throw them out of the program. Yeah, that seems like that they'll probably behave correctly, right? The question I get asked the most by entrepreneurs is, Jason, I don't want to talk to VCs because I'm scared you're going to steal take my idea and steal it and start your own company. For me, my constraints for my reputation are I'm more constrained than somebody who nobody knows, right? If I do something wrong, it's front page news. Make sure that the people you're dealing with have similar constraints that they're going to behave correctly.